Coming home in the evening, each day much on my mind. Fast.
Hi there, peace unto you. My name is Rashida Ali and welcome to Rashida TV, a place to be to gain practical tools on how to create tranquility in your heart. Now welcome to another Q&A episode of Rashida TV, and today's question comes from Yemi, and Yemi writes, Hi Rashida, thank you so much for your videos. My question is, I have a fantastic relationship with my parents and I respect them so much. I recently got married and all I ask from my man is to constantly check on my family and build a great relationship with them. But he is expecting my parents to call him first, and he is always referring to the fact that they check on their other son-in-law and daughter-in-laws. I keep reminding him that these relationships have been built over 3 to 13 years, and ours is just a new relationship. But he still doesn't agree with me. I don't know how I am meant to tell my parents that their new son-in-law expects them to check on him if they miss him. I need help on how to get him to change his mind and how to deal with the situation. Thanks a lot. Love from Yemi. Thank you so much, Yemi, for that question. In today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some ideas that you can use in order to deal with this situation. So, without further ado, let's get cracking. So number one is that you want to calmly remind him of your culture, remind him of your family values, because when you're in a marriage, this is like two people coming together, and he might have his own ways of doing things, his own expectations. So you want to always remind him calmly and explain to him how important your family is to you and the success of your marriage. So hopefully he will come to terms with your own your family values and the way you do things. So the next thing you want to look at is is this the way he relates to people? So you want to find out, like, is this the kind of person he is? Sometimes there's different feelings, like, does he feel shy? Does he have inferiority complex? Does he have does he lack confidence? So sometimes when this is the problem, then people take like the defensive mode. So rather than them going to meet people and start the conversation first, they feel like, well, no, the other party should come first to speak to me, and then I can loosen up. And also it could be like a sign of maybe jealousy. Because, like you mentioned, like he's always making reference to the relationship your parents have with their other son and daughter-in-laws. So maybe he's seen the way they are really close, and maybe the way they behave to each other. And he's comparing, like you said, this is something that has been for between 3 to 13 years, which I understand, but not everyone would understand that. He might feel like, well, I want them to treat me equally. And also with regards to that, you want to try and, avoid putting him in the position whereby he would see the way your parents are relating to the other in-laws with their daughter and son-in-law. Don't put him in that position whereby he would see the whole love and affection. So the next one will be to take action rather than just talking. So sometimes when you do things that you want in a relationship, when you actually take action, the other party would see what you're doing and they try to copy you. So say, what am I trying to say? So the way you want him to treat your parents, have you thought about treating his parents that way? So maybe, calling them first, like, going to visit them, looking after them, buying gifts for them. So when he sees the way you are treating his parents, then he can emulate that. He can copy that. Obviously, it might not be immediately, but he will try and see what you're doing. And that way, you're trying to send a message, but by taking action. The next one will be to try and speak to your parents. So like you said you're very close to your parents and you have a good relationship with them. So, sometimes we might feel like, oh, our parents might feel offended if we say things like that, but it might not be the case. If you go and speak to them really nicely and try and explain the situation with them, try and let them understand that you're not happy with what is going on. So when you try and explain the way he feels, and probably try and say maybe that's the way he thinks and that's the way he's brought up, and because they are much more older and they're like adults, and they're your parents, they wouldn't want to see their daughter feeling sad, or our marriage working well. So hopefully they might be, you never know, they might feel like, okay, they don't mind taking that first step. So, just talking to them and the manner in which you approach them and the manner you explain things to them, it can go a long way and it can change their mind. So finally will be for you to make sure that you don't start to feel angry about the situation. So you don't want to start to feel rebellious, feel like maybe you have a problem, or maybe, get angry and think, oh, maybe your family, the way you were brought up, maybe that's like a problem and it's causing you problems in your relationship. No, you don't want to start to feel like that, because you might lose your self-confidence if you do that. The way you were brought up is okay. The way he was brought up is okay. But that's what happens, when two people are coming together, there's a lot of things that you would have to compromise. So do not start to feel angry or feel like, offended about the situation, because when you do this, the way you will start to approach it will be in a very negative way, and you do things with anger, and honestly this could escalate and it could cause more problems than just this situation. So whenever you feel like you want your husband to get close to your parents and he's not trying to take that step, so look at all these steps that have been mentioned here, see which one is suitable for your situation, and hopefully try and put it in place. So this is my 80-year cue, and I hope this has helped. Now it's your turn. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know, what is your takeaway today? Please leave a comment below. Did you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please share with your friends and families. Remember, having tranquility in your heart is the key ingredient to having a successful and a happy life. Thank you so much for watching, and God willing, I'll catch you in the next episode of Rashida TV.
Coming home in the evening, each day much on my mind.